Almost everyone into sneakers has a Jordan 1 these days. Doesn't matter if it's a high, even a mid, which has really been on its game lately. And we know lows, they have a full resurgence going on. They were not appreciated back in 2015. Somehow now they are the star when it comes to sneaker releases. I mean, I don't know if they outdo the highs, but I certainly do appreciate the lows more. And I just wanted to do a video on the differences between the OG lows and the current day lows now that I finally have a few OGs in my collection.
I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see. Yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young. I'll take a hit and still finish and run.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl TJ back with another video talks with TJ, aka TJ2 Swoosh Chains. I hope you guys are having a good day whenever you are watching this. Now, outside currently with the weather, it is pretty stormy. It's a dreary day. It's been that way all day. I really won't complain. For one, I can't control the weather, and for two, we need it to cool off in this area. So I am perfectly okay with that. I think you're gonna watch this on a weekend, probably, if you're watching it when it first drops, which means it finally cooled off, and I'm very, very happy about that. To Swoosh Crew, if you're already subscribed, let's just go ahead, let's rock with each other in the comment section. If you are brand new, hopefully you stick around, like what you see, hit the subscribe button, and the like button always helps every creator. Trust me, we're always fighting to get into the algorithm, and I hope whatever content I have to show is of value to you somehow. So let's jump right in. Jordan 1 lows. Again, they're like the ugly duckling that grew up to be bad as ever, and now everyone wants her. And I mean, hey, you could be mad at that. So we know in 2015, that's when the OG Jordan 1 lows dropped. There were quite a few drops that year in 2015. I have two of them, so yes, I have the Shadow, and then I also have the Bread 1 low back there. I really, really want the Royal, but let me tell you, I'm not feeling those Royal prices. Even on the secondary market for eBay and things like that used, they're still pretty high. They're like 300 still for a used pair. So I don't know that I'll venture down that road just yet. September is really going to be something I like to call sit down September, because whew, I was active. I was busy in August. And I'm just going to take a step back, but that gives me time to admire the different things I already have. And let's not get it twisted, I still have quite a bit on the way. But for the Jordan 1 lows, there are differences between what's out now and what released years ago. And for some people, they will only gravitate to the older style. And that means the OGs, they will only gravitate towards this. Now, I know for some, they'll say, hey, the leather was trash back then. I'm not really feeling it. Some just don't like the silhouette of a Jordan 1 low altogether. Perfectly fine. That's just fine. They probably don't like an Air Force 1 as well, but I have zero problems with it. Now, understand this, that there are going to be some differences in terms of the OGs and the current day Jordan 1 lows. More importantly, they're pretty distinct, and they happen right at the front of the sneaker. So that's exactly what we're going to get into. Let's just go ahead and dive into the front of the sneaker, and then we'll take a look at the back of the sneaker, and even some differences for the women's releases too, because quite frankly, when you're looking at the front parts of the sneakers here, you can look at the front and you can see, of course, that those tongues, that's the difference, right? So on the tongue of the modern day Jordan 1 low, you have the Jumpman. Now the tongue is actually more padded. So you could almost think of the current day Jordan 1 lows as like the SBs of Nike Dunks. Because now there's not extra padding, I would say, all around. We know that the actual air unit, different things like that in SB Dunk, there's a whole lot more that goes into it. But just in terms of the tongue, listen, the SB Dunk is known for having that padded tongue to really help with comfort for a skater in those shoes all day. So for this, I mean, look at this. This is thin, right? This there's not a whole lot there. It's kind of just like a regular Jordan 1 tongue. It's not a whole lot there. This has a little bit more padding right there. So I will say the tongue on the modern day Jordan 1 lows is a little bit more comfortable just based on the extra padding that's within there. Now, is it going to be some, I don't know, is it actually going to feel like an SB Dunk tongue? No, it's certainly not. But some would say, hey, I'll trade that extra padding to have the Nike Air on the front. And we know that coveted Nike Air, that's what's missing. That's actually it. You know how the whole thing going around is this or that does it for me, that did it for me. Well, it's the this for me. Well, for some, it's the Nike Air on the tongue that, you know, is missing that prevents them from buying modern day Jordan 1 lows. But it's here on the OGs if you guys want to go back and pick one up. So you got the Jumpman here, and you have the Nike Air there. Now, I would actually go ahead and equal that to like the Jordan 1 mids versus the highs. That's something that people are not that happy with. And also on the front, so if you look at the middle portion here on an OG, there's absolutely nothing there. It's just black. It's blank. If you look here, we know that 23 is added on the front. Now, I don't know how you feel about that. I think it's a cool little touch. We know we love seeing Jordan's number all over, but for some people, they're just not with it in terms of that. And it's the same on this women's pair I have as well. Now, this is going to be really difficult to see. You probably won't be able to because it's all white. But that's 23 as well on there. And then it still has the Jumpman on the tongue. Now, the back of the shoe. Well, before we get to the back of the shoe, this is something that I didn't notice. So if you're looking at the front cut, you see the way that's cut there? Take a look at how it's cut here. So you can see it's definitely a little bit more pronounced. It's like a wider groove as you go along the toe box versus here on the old school. So that is something I noticed when just kind of taking a look at the shoe myself. Now we know the materials are played around with quite a bit with newer Jordan 1 lows because this is just, it's totally different material. And then this is like this pebbled leather. I mean, you can literally hear it. It's like a pebbled leather. I don't know that I would want that on tons of shoes, right? I mean, this is kind of like the patent leather design on the swoosh, which is very different than everything else on the shoe. If you're somebody that just craves the nostalgia of a regular Air Jordan 1, just go with the OG. It's just leather. It may not be the best leather, but it's just leather. Now, if you're looking at something that was totally remixed, this is the women's Chicago Jordan 1 low, but remember, like, it was totally remixed, so totally different with the fact that the swoosh is stitched on here. And I remember people said this was like the worst shoe of the year when it came out. No, this was not the worst shoe of the year. There were far worse shoes, trust me. But the fact that the tongue is inverted, so what you would normally have on the inside of the shoe, which no one ever gets to see, it's on the outside now, and I absolutely love that. That's what drew me to this sneaker. But here's the funny part. On the back, they stay true to the OG placement of the Wings logo. So it's not here on the bottom, right? That's where this one is. It's not on the bottom where it takes up like a really good portion of the back heel. It's up here, which I thought was awesome that they actually gave a women's nod, more of that OG look. So the Wings logo is up here. Now on the back, they actually have the kind of like the trademark paragraph of Nike and the swoosh name and stripe are trademarks, you know, guaranteed quality swoosh. So that's all right here on the back. And then again, the tongue has all the branding here. Would I rock more Jordan 1 lows if they just had this? Like everything else was OG, but this here was on the tongue? Yes, absolutely. I would love it. It's a really nice touch to me. It's super different. Now, these are all snaps, which they're easy to get on, easy to get off. Listen, I like the shoe. Now, I beat this shoe up. You guys can't tell from right now. I beat this shoe up rocking these at Kids Foot Locker all the time. So the back is certainly a point of contention for some people because they don't like the fact that there is a really big Wings logo just smack dab in the middle. It takes up most of the heel. Versus on the OG, you still had part of the lower heel visible and the Wings logo is much smaller. Should that make or break you wanting the shoe? I think it's all based on personal preference, but for me, I'm a fan of the OG. I think a little bit more. Now, I will say this. I somewhat feel the OGs are like a tad bit slimmer, but maybe just in profile. Not so much in the sense that they cause any discomfort with my feet because both are equally comfortable. So I don't think it would be in a way that they would cause discomfort, but I would think that maybe this is just a tad bit more narrow than the build of this one here. I don't know. All are comfortable. I have 5 pairs of Jordan 1 lows now. That women's gray fog I absolutely want. Now I think it either already dropped or is going to drop. I don't know. It's one of those things I'm probably going to have to go on the secondary market or browse around on Foot Locker to see if they have it and just do a site to home order. That's probably what I'll have to do. But Jordan 1 lows, do you like them? Do you love them? Has everyone lost their minds being all about them? I know the discussion has been around that Well, hey, the hype of Jordan 1 lows really came about when Travis Scott collaborated with Jordan to do his own Jordan 1 low. Now, some people subscribe to that, and I think you do have a number of people that maybe are so dead set as fans of Travis Scott, they'll rock whatever Travis is rocking. And maybe Jordan 1 lows were never on their radar. Same with SB Dunks. That could be a good thing, that could be a bad thing, right? If you're a purist and you love Jordan 1 lows just like you loved SB Dunks, maybe you're not that happy that a lot of hype beasts want the shoes just because he has them, not because they appreciate the shoe for what it is. I get it. I empathize, but I do think it's also cool for people to pay respect to models that maybe were just discarded long ago. So please let me know in the comment section what you guys think. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace out.